Please click like and subscribe and that little notification bell for the next episode. So in Chelsea, there's only one place to sleep.
That's right, Chelsea Motor Inn.
That's right. It's a clean,
That's right.
small, very
clean.
kind of place you'd expect to stay in if you were traveling in the 50s.
Yep. TV, they gave you coffee in the morning. Hey, you
They even
can
had
be-
internet access.
And they even had
That's
internet.
right. Now in
And-
Chelsea, they have one of the few tunnels, walking tunnels underneath the highway, because in Chelsea at one time, Route 66 was so busy, so much traffic that there was no way crossing the street, and so they built a little walkway
Tunnel.
underneath. Is one of two that we saw
Yes.
in Route 66. This goes underneath the highway.
Totem Pole Park.
That's right.
And it had all these totem poles.
Tons of them.
Tons.
Gigantic,
Unique.
tons.
Very unique, too.
And we are in Totem Pole Park, a little bit off Route 66. Home of the largest totem pole in the world, built in 1948. Little totem poles here and there. Totem Pole Park.
Ed Galloway, born in 1880, started out in Missouri, and he retired, and he had quite a gift for art and moved to this area and started building these things. And he just built these things from materials he found on site. Sometimes you'll see a bed frame sticking out or just any piece of metal he could find. The inside of this is native sandstone, and it took about 11 years for him to finish all these things. And this totem pole here, it's 90 feet high, it's 18 feet across the middle, and it's 54 feet around the base.
Oh, let's see. Nice, we got some mural in here too.
His wife asked Mr. Galloway to build this because as he would carve these things, he kept them in his house. You'll see inside here a lot of fiddles. He didn't make any playable fiddles. He built these to demonstrate different kinds of wood. And here is the mapping of this that shows what wood, which fiddle are made out of. He made a lot of these. Some of his best work, he actually carved all of the presidents. You can see how he made the carving in here. Unfortunately, they were stolen right after his death.
You know, south of Foyl is Claremore, and one of the first things you'll notice about Claremore is that they are Will Rogers crazy.
Yep.
And also one of the citizens was Mr. Davis, and then they made a gun museum. More guns than you could ever picture.
Imagine.
Okay, we're in Claremore right now at the J.M. Davis Arms and Historical Museum, and I'm talking to Wayne. And Wayne is the in charge of this place, right?
I'm the executive director of the museum. J.M. Davis started his gun collection in 1916, and he bought a hotel here in Claremore on Main Street in 1916, and this is where he housed it. And this is a replica of the lobby of the hotel. Mr. Davis had thousands of guns on display in his lobby. All these guns were on display in the lobby of his hotel in downtown Claremore. Everything from the hotel was moved over here in 1969. This is a painting of what the hotel looked like in about 1961. This is Mr. Davis's very first gun. It was given to him by his father when he was 7 years old. This is Mr. Davis's oldest gun in the collection. It's called a Chinese hand cannon. It's from about 1350. They would pack this end with sharp objects, glass and rocks, and put a plug in it. They would put a wick in there to light it, and they would hold it with their hand and shoot this debris out at the bad guys. This is one of Mr. Davis's very favorite guns. This is a 7-barrel shotgun that would shoot all 7 barrels at the same time. It was originally built for the British Navy about 1850 or so. They would use this when they would load cargo in and off the ship, and they would have the crew members climb up in the crow's nest and in the riggings and hold guns down on people transferring the cargo so they wouldn't steal the cargo. Well, whenever they would fire the guns, it had so much of a kick, the guys would fall out of the crow's nests and off the ship. So they had to replace the guns, and they remodeled them and made them goose guns. Here at the J.M. Davis Museum, of course, we have guns from the future. This is a Buck Rogers disintegrator gun from 1935. The machine gun exhibit is very popular. These were used in World War I, World War II, and in some by some of the famous gangsters of the 1920s and 1930s. Over here, the famous Thompson's machine gun that both law enforcement and bad guys used.
Bonnie and Clyde used that one.
Yeah. This is the world's smallest commercially manufactured automatic pistol. It's made in Austria. It holds 7 cartridges and only weighs 2 1/3 ounces. Caliber is about the size of a pencil lead. This is our largest gun in the collection. The Chinese would use this wall gun on the Great China Wall. It takes 3 men to operate the gun and weighs 32 pounds.